Iowa State Bank and Region 12 Council of Governments are a great example of how our members partner with community organizations to strengthen the communities they serve. Over the last 20 years, the Affordable Housing Program has allowed the Des Moines Bank to be involved in many successful projects that have improved the quality of life for thousands of people. A homeless man in Clinton, a mobility-impaired resident in Dubuque, a first-time homebuyer in Des Moines. These are only a few of the many who have benefited from the $190 million in affordable housing grants to rural and urban communities in our 5-state district. When Senator Chuck Grassley cast his 10,000th vote, that's a hard word to say, 10,000th vote in the United States Senate, Iowa's senior senator joined only 28 other senators in history to achieve that milestone. He also maintains the longest consecutive voting streak among those serving today in the U.S. Senate. Throughout his 5 terms in the U.S. Senate, this farmer lawmaker has developed a reputation for fiscal responsibility, government accountability, and constituent services. Senator Grassley serves as the Senate Finance Committee ranking member. As the only working family farmer who serves on the Senate Agriculture Committee, Grassley is an outspoken advocate for independent food producers. A senior member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, Senator Grassley champions antitrust enforcement, legal immigration, and efforts to open the federal judiciary up to allow cameras in the courtroom. From his seat on the Senate Budget Committee, this deficit hawk looks out for taxpayers in the Hawkeye State. Join me now in welcoming Senator Charles Grassley.
I appreciate those remarks very much. I have to say, since the last election, there's another senator, Senator Tester from Montana, who's a family farmer, so I want to recognize that, and I don't expect you to keep up on all that stuff. Thank you. But I suppose I ought to also say, if Robin Grassley had heard what you said, Dad, why don't you tell him that I do most of the work? So Robin Grassley does most of the work, but I am a very good hired man, I think. So I want to thank you for the opportunity to be with you. And I want to, you usually summarize at the end, but I think a couple thoughts as I was reading about your involvement in housing and acquaintance with it from the 20 years ago that it became law. I was thinking of 2 words that kind of summarize the program. One is self-capitalization, and the advantage of self-capitalization is that you aren't always dependent upon the whims of Washington to know that money's available for what you're trying to do, and does it on your own initiative. The second word that comes to mind is flexibility, a program that isn't just for one small group of people, new homeowners, even though we highlight that because that is the American dream of home ownership, but flexibility in the way of rehabilitation on the one hand and the purchase of property on the other. And I think that these 2 programs are something that gives you flexibility so that it meets the needs of more people all the time. And maybe one other thing I ought to say before I go to what I had to say for this meeting. I had lunch with Wendy Speckerman yesterday, and I don't know whether any of you are still around when she was a consumer member of the board from 2002 to 2005, but she's my daughter, and she wanted me to say hello to all of you that may remember her, and if you don't remember, then obviously I can't give you a message. But she took very seriously her work on the auditing committee, and she enjoyed very much that particular relationship that she had with this board. I appreciate this invitation to be with you to celebrate the anniversary of the Affordable Housing Program and to commemorate the work of so many entities that increase home ownership in the Midwest. And I suppose another highlight would be the variety of people that can be involved, political subdivisions, banks, the nonprofit organizations as well. That gives another way of touching more people because not everybody is affiliated necessarily with a bank and things of that nature. So It was only 20 years ago that the Home Loan Bank Board of Des Moines introduced this program after it was passed by Congress with the hopes, and obviously after 20 years we know the realization of the goals of that time of providing Iowans with various affordable housing options. Today I'm very proud to be a part of the grant announcement that will help many communities in Iowa as well as the states of Missouri and Minnesota and the Dakotas. Although our economy is weak at this particular time, and Senator Harkin's letter referred to the pain affected with foreclosures and all of that. But regardless, housing will always remain a vital part of our American way of life. Every day, individuals strive to achieve the American dream. And it's our responsibility in Washington to make sure that we have programs so that the American dream does not turn into being the American nightmare that it has for some people when maybe we had too aggressive of an effort to get people that didn't have assets and maybe not even checking to see if they had a job to put people like that in housing, so that that American dream has, for those people, as well intended as it might be, turned out to be the American nightmare. Because finding a home is the foundation of fulfilling life. However, being able to afford a home can be a difficult task for many people, especially in this down economy.